Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
I remember I was in college when MapQuest came out as the first directional mapping system. Not that it worked all that great, but you could choose from the fastest, shortest, or most scenic route. Now GPS will direct you turn by turn. Abram back in Genesis 12 did not have MapQuest or GPS, but he had God. The Lord wouldn't lead him the fastest, shortest, or most direct way to his destination. In fact, he didn't even really have a destination. It was more about the trip than the destination. An adventure, just Abram and God. And it was the safest way, because we're safest when we're on the path the Lord chooses, even if it's a narrow path on the side of a mountain with no guardrails. It was definitely the most scenic route because God would show him all sorts of things along the way. The catch was, Abram had to follow God by faith. That's how God works. When He calls us, He sometimes just gives us light for the next step. Here's how God called Abram. In Genesis 12:1-3, He said, "Get out of your country, from your family and your father's house, to a land I will show you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And in you all the families of the earth will be blessed." If you counted, there's one command for Abram to obey, and 7 promises from God. If Abram did one thing, take that first step of faith away from his secure home and family, God would do 7 things, pile on blessing after blessing. And we know that Abram did. It was almost like Jesus' call to his disciples, "Come, follow me." God often calls us to leave the stability of what we have and step into the unfamiliar and unknown. When He does this, He's teaching us to trust Him above all. In 2010, God did this to my husband and me. He called my husband to quit his job and move 14 hours away to live with his family. We had a beautiful house, lots of friends, a close-knit church, and my parents not far away. I knew that moving that far away with no job would cause seismic phenomenon in my family, and it did. But out of the ashes and rubble, God grew something beautiful in me. He taught me to cling to Him and trust Him, as I could learn in no other way. Let's read what Paul says about Abram here when he obeyed God's command. This is found in Romans 4:20-22. "He did not waver at the promise of God through unbelief, but was strengthened in faith, giving glory to God and being fully convinced that what He promised He was also able to perform, and therefore it was accounted to him for righteousness." At 75 years old, Abram left home to follow God. That's what God asks for each of us to do. He may not ask you to up and leave your family and travel around in tents the rest of your life, but He asks us to step out in faith, out of our comfort zone. What I love about Abram is he is all in. He up and moves, lock, stock, and barrel. He's not planning to return. Like his daughter-in-law Rebecca did years later, he makes a clear choice to follow God. What has God called you to? Have you obeyed? What steps of faith do you need to take today?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.